Hello everyone, and welcome to the EU-FarmBook online training sessions. Just to show you what is important to know in preparation for these training sessions is that this is one of the sessions in a series of online training sessions. So this session will be specifically towards the API. This session is also specifically dedicated towards people with a more technical profile who understand as well how APIs work. But we also have other sessions on manual uploading, and there will be also a session in the future on batch uploading. Now, this webinar is being recorded, but you yourself are not being recorded. This means that actually we can provide the recording of this session more easily online. And the way to do questions, because what will happen is actually that we have Pranav Bapat from Maastricht University who will be giving a presentation on the API. And afterwards, in the meantime, you will actually be able to provide questions in the chat, and I will be able to ask those questions to Pranav afterwards during the Q&A. Now, if you want to follow up on a lot of these training sessions, you have a QR code on the screen that will send you immediately to the training sessions webpage, where any updates will be made available regarding these training sessions. Now, with that being said, I will hand the word over to Pranav for his presentation.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you so much. I will share my screen. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible now. And hi everyone. My name is Pranav. I will take you today through the online training session 2, which is on API integration. Before we dive into this, I would like to tell you that this session would be very much technical. If you have attended the first session on manual uploads, it would be way easier for you to understand this session. But if you have any questions, you can ask, and I will try my best to answer them. Okay. So this is our agenda for today. What is the goal of today's session? Then we will look at the various EU-FarmBook terminologies of what words we use in that. Then why have we built this API? What is the technical overview? What happens behind the scenes when you use this API, or how easy it is or how difficult it is for you to use this API? Then it has 4 simple steps. If you have seen before the manual upload of the knowledge objects into the platform, API eases your work very much. So how it does that through the online API endpoints, which I will show you in the web browser as well as in a programmatically way. And then we will take a look at some of the case studies and what are the next steps that we are planning to do, and how it can help, how your feedback can help us improve our API. So the goal is introduce the EU-FarmBook public API and its use cases, how we can use this API. Then we will demonstrate on what is already available and what are our future plans and how we can improve that. I will give you an overview of projects who have already used this API and how they have used it and upload the content onto the EU-FarmBook. Next is I will give you a demonstration of how to use its main API endpoints, as I said earlier. And then we will ask for your feedback for our future improvements and developments. So as I said, let's go through the basic terminologies which are used in API. As I said, this session is very much technical. So API stands for Application Programming Interface. An API enables 2 systems to interact with each other without the manual intervention. So in the context of EU-FarmBook, let's say if you want to send your knowledge objects or your project into the EU-FarmBook platform, we will use different addresses and endpoints. These are called as APIs. Then what is a knowledge object? It's a generic term for any kind of material that relates to your project. It could be a PDF file, a document file, an image, a video, or any kind of digital content. And next one is metadata. So every project or every knowledge objects can have certain properties that define that data. It could be title, project name, description, authors who made that knowledge object, what topic it belongs to, if you recollect from the previous session. If not, no worries, I will tell you everything in detail in this. Now, why have we built this API? So the projects and platforms may have many knowledge objects. If you recall the first session, or if you think of any session in which you upload the file into the online, you have to do it one by one. If you have to upload 10 files, you have to upload one by one manually 10 times. To remove this time-consuming process, we have made this API. If you have your own database of your knowledge objects, it becomes very much easier for you as well as for us to integrate all of your knowledge objects in one go into the EU-FarmBook. Example is Resilience. They have incorporated all of their knowledge objects into the EU-FarmBook. We will show you that as a test case later on. Some of the knowledge objects may have a different metadata, and which may not be compliant with EU-FarmBook. That is also okay, because let's say if your knowledge objects or your projects have 10 properties and we have only 7, so remaining 3 properties can also be included, and that enhances the platform as well. So let's go ahead. And this is the technical overview of what happens when you use this API or how it is built. So you are a contributor to the EU-FarmBook platform. You will use this API to push your knowledge objects into the EU-FarmBook platform. Now, the way we have designed this is all of the data, the textual data, like your name, description, title, acronym, they all are stored in a MongoDB database. All your physical files of your knowledge objects, like PDF files, videos, audios, your other abstracts, they are stored in S3 database. And the access control feature is there so that not anyone can upload anything into the platform, but only the contributors who are verified, who are added in the platform by the coordinators, can push this data. And as we all know that the Horizon projects and the operational group projects, they have their accounts on the EU-FarmBook, and they can easily push the data. The medium which we are using from technical perspective is the JSON. We are using JSON format because it is very much popular method to send the data, and is very compliant. And we have made this entire application in fast API. So if you have heard this, it's very super fast implementation. It takes very less amount of time to integrate, and it is based on Python. So if you in the future, if you want to send anything to the EU-FarmBook, your contributions, you can use Python because it is very much it is very powerful and very easy to use. Now, let's see how to use this API. So first of all, you should have an account on the EU-FarmBook platform. I hope everybody has that now. Using those accounts, you authenticate yourself using an API. So how do you authenticate? I will show you that, but using an endpoint. Once you authenticate, you get 3 things. You get an access token, you get refresh token, and you get your unique ID. Then using these 3, you will use one more API to get the projects assigned to you. And how do you get the projects assigned to you? From the coordinator. And once you do that, once you are through this step 3, last step is to upload the metadata into the platform. This is the endpoint testing interface which we have made for you, and I will spend most of my time explaining this. I know that I ran very fast explaining first 3-4 slides, but this is the main portion of this and how you can use this. And after I finish this, I will quickly show you one more way of how fast it is if you use any kind of programming language to do that. I'm using Python to do that. So yeah, I will share my browser now. Can you see this? Okay. So as I showed you before, we have these endpoints here. You can go to this address. The address is there in the presentation. This API public EU-FarmBook.eu/docs. If you hit this, you will come to this page. So now you must have an account before. So if you don't have an account, you can go to EU-FarmBook and get an account for yourself. Yeah, using sign up here, you can get your account. So I'm assuming that you already have your account with you. So I'm using my dummy account, and I'm using a dummy project because we cannot upload anything to the platform, any dummy thing to the platform. So this is my JSON key value pair. This is how you can send your request and get authenticated. So let's try and execute this. See, you got these three things: access token, refresh token, and UUID. This access token is valid for 1 hour. This refresh token is valid for 24 hours, which means if you generate these tokens now and come tomorrow after 24 hours, this will be expired, which means you'll have to log in again. Similarly, if you make any mistake in your password, you will get a response that login is incorrect. So you have to check your details again. So if you see from technical perspective, you have a distinct response codes. In this case, it's 401. And otherwise, if it's correct, it is 200. It's 200. Okay, so this is how you authenticate, which you saw at the first step. Now you want to know which projects are assigned to you by the coordinator. You're a contributor, so you have some assigned projects to you by the coordinator. So whatever information you get here, you have to copy everything as it is and put it here. So this is my old tokens. So if I execute this, my old tokens, I will get a message that tokens are invalid or expired, which means you have to log in again. So now I have copied my tokens from here. And I put it in this box and execute. Yeah, you see, I got two things. I got project ID and I got project name, which means these two projects are assigned to me by the coordinator, and I'm a contributor to this project. And this is a unique project ID. Okay, so far clear, no problems here until now, I hope. Now, after this, before you proceed, there are certain things which you should be familiar with with respect to EU-FarmBook platform. What are the categories that are available? What are the topics, subtopics, as you saw in the previous session? If not, you can watch it again. The license available, the locations, and languages. So just for demonstration, I will show you. Let's say if you want to see how many languages are there in the platform. You go to languages.
Dana, would you be able to increase the size of what you're showing on the screen a bit?
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes. Perfect. This is perfect.
Okay, let me just do it again. Okay, it's fine?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to know which languages are there in the platform, so just go on to click on languages and you click on try it out. Once you click on try it out, you will see a button called as execute. Click on execute and you will see the response here that these are the languages which are available in the platform. So you have to choose from one of these languages. when you upload the knowledge objects in the platform. Similarly, the topics that you can see, which are there in the platform, click on execute, and we have these 6 topics. And this information, why I'm showing you this information is useful when you actually upload the knowledge objects using the API, because sometimes you may not know, they will not appear in the when you upload. So you have to choose from one of these categories. Okay, so we saw how to authenticate, and we saw how do you get the project ID and project names of which are assigned to you. Now you want to upload the actual knowledge objects and actual metadata to the platform. For that, you have these 3 APIs. The last API here is only for the validation. It will not push anything into the platform. It is only to validate your knowledge objects. This is where everything starts. So I will just do one thing. I'll just take this ID from the projects, which I got here. So this first ID, which is of the EU-FarmBook project, I want to add some knowledge objects to this project. I copy the ID and I paste it here. And this is the request body, which is already there. You don't have to do anything for that. But just to show you again from the beginning, I will quickly do the recap of this. So you have authentication here. And this is the example how you have to send the response. You go to try it out. And here I will put in my username or email. And this is my password. And I execute. I got these responses, access token, refresh token, and UUID. Copy everything, go down. Now you want to see which projects are assigned to you. You go here again see, the example is you have to do it like this: access token, refresh token, and UUID. Click on try it out. You go here, paste everything as it is from the response from above, and click on execute. And once you do that, you have these 2 projects assigned to me. Okay, and you will, depending on your login and your projects, you will have different IDs and different project names. So let's say I want to add something to this project, in the first project, some knowledge objects. What I will do is I will copy this ID. And now I will go down here, knowledge object metadata. I want to upload something here, and I click on try it out. So here you have to paste this ID here. And this is the sample JSON made already for you. So you don't have to build anything yourself. Here you have to put in your details. So again, how do you do that? Just go up, copy this. And put it here. Okay. Now it comes the actual part of how do you upload these objects. Let's say you just put it like this, and if you have some errors in your input, to see what the error is, just click on execute, and you will see the error response down here as this. So for the language, the default value was string, so string is not allowed here. So you have to choose from one of these categories, as we saw earlier from the GET requests, that which languages are allowed. Same for the date format. Your date has to be in date, month, year format, as we saw earlier in the previous session of how do you choose the date. Same for what is the purpose. So your purpose has to be from one of these categories. And all of these categories, the values, you can find it in these methods here: categories, subtopics, file types, location, purpose, etc. So once you put everything here, you have to click on execute. So now just for demonstration purposes, I will show you one thing. And before I show you how do you upload these knowledge objects and its data, one thing I would like to underline is that, as we said before in the first session, currently we do not have any option to edit or delete the knowledge objects, and we are working on it to make you available that option, because it is very useful. So until that happens, if you plan to use this API, you have to be a bit careful right now when you upload the objects. Otherwise, if you upload some wrong file or wrong data, it will remain there, and we will and then you'll contact us to remove that. Not an issue, but just as a precaution, because API uploads are very fast, and once you start, you have no control on how to stop it. That's why you have to be a bit careful as of now. Once we release the edit and delete options for to edit the objects, it will be very much easier. So here, when you want to upload a knowledge object, actual knowledge object to your project in the EU-FarmBook, you have to put your user tokens here, which you got in the previous API call, and then for which project you want to add this file to, and then you choose a file from here. One thing that to notice is here that if you upload one file already, you cannot upload the same file again, because files, when you upload that, it gets a unique hash. So that hash will be present. So if you want to upload the same file, you have to rename it to _1 or anything. Okay, so I will just show a dummy file right now. I choose some file. Let's say I choose FAQs here. The user tokens, I will copy it from above here. Just copy them and paste it here. And I want to upload for, where is it? Yeah. This project I want to upload for. So I put my access tokens, my UUID and my refresh token, and this project ID, and I choose this file and execute. So as I said, it's already there. So not uploaded, because this hash is uniquely present for this file. So I will choose a different file. And execute. Yeah, you see, you got a response, knowledge object uploaded successfully, the name of the file, and this database ID, which means the file got stored in the S3, and this is a unique ID that identifies the file on the technical level. So just copy, you have to copy this ID. Now this ID you will use to put it when you upload the knowledge objects data. So you see in the first section here, you have knowledge objects, database ID. This ID, I'm so sorry for this. So this ID here is this ID goes here for database ID. Then language should be, let's say I go for English right now. Then the title of this knowledge object, I see that test title 1, 2, then test DOI. Description is test description 2. The keywords, keyword 1, then as we saw in the previous section, it has to be comma separated and in the double quotes as per the JSON format. Keyword 2, and so on. Now, next step is the creators. I will put in my name. Then date of completion, I will put in today's date, 23/05/2024. Now, I don't know what is this purpose is here. So if you don't know this, just go down, use these APIs, purpose, and click on execute. So these are the purposes that you get of why are you uploading this. So let's say I go for evaluation. Next option is the geographic locations. I put it here as Netherlands. Category is forestry. Now, let's say if you have done this much for now and you execute this, let's see what happens. You execute this. Now, this is the request which is sent to the EU-FarmBook. And this is the response I get as 422, which means there is some error in the response. What's the response? Okay, so forest is not allowed. It has to be from these categories: manual, milestone report, etc. Which means the language, the database ID, all of these errors before were there, they got fixed, and now I have errors in these elements. For category, you have to choose from these categories. For type, it has to be what is the type of document. Object is there, it's a document, a video or audio. It's a document in this case. Then you have topics. So let's fix these errors now. So now, which means here, the category was manual. Topics, which is, let's say, forestry. The type is a document. Now, subtopics. I don't know what subtopic is, so I will just go down here. And I see what subtopics. Okay, so for subtopics, I got this error. I choose climate change just for now, just to show you. And subtopics here. Now, license is CC BY. And that's it. And now once you have done all of this, now you click on execute. Let's see what we get. This is the data which was sent to the platform. And what we got here, the response is correct, is 200 now, which means the upload was successful. And this is a unique ID which we have got. Now, how do you verify this, if it is uploaded or not? One thing is that 200, but you can also do one thing is that you can go and log in into the platform. Same credentials which we used before. You click on your profile here, and you have to go on. Second option, which says upload contributions. When you click on that, you will see that this will be uploaded right now. The test title, which is this. Now, if you click on this, you will see the entire knowledge object which you uploaded using an API. Now, this will be removed after this session. So you can try this, but do not push and make sure that when you post the knowledge objects, they don't have any error. That is the process for now. Now this seems a bit more maybe easier or difficult, but how do you make it even more faster or more easier? If you are using Python, because as I said that this is a very much technical session, so I will show you quickly how you can use this in a better way. In Python, now is it like very much small for you to see, or can you see it very well?
It's pretty small.
Okay, I will change the font size. Just give me a moment. Still small?
Yes, but it's already quite an improvement. You may also have very good eyes. Ah, yes, perfect.
Okay. So as I said before, that how do you use this API from a programmatically way? This is a public API which I have used. I have made it just for demo purposes, and I will just show you how fast it is. When you have everything in place, this takes less than 5 minutes to upload everything into the EU-FarmBook platform. So you can make your own functions. So for this, I have made authenticate function in which I have used the same API authentication token, which we saw on this page, on the first API, which we saw, API authentication token. The same API I have used here for validation of myself. If I get good proper response, I get these tokens. Otherwise, you get this error and you get the what is the error message. Now, next step is to get the projects which are assigned to you. Again, the same API we use as we saw it here, API authentication projects. You get all of the projects assigned to you. Same like that, you upload a file into the platform using these definitions. So you have the object, you have the response code, you have the what data it expects. If you go here, you know what is the response body, what is the how it expects the data. Depending on this, you can build your own APIs and push the data. So one case would be that you maintain an Excel file that contains all of your projects and knowledge objects. So for example, for project 1, you have 5 knowledge objects. For project 2, you have 2 knowledge objects. So if you maintain this in Excel file, and if you run this script will take less than 5 minutes for all of your knowledge objects from your Excel file will push to the EU-FarmBook platform. So now I will run this file for you. So if you run this file, just see how fast it is. That's it, done. So now I got this error here because I can't push objects multiple times. So I don't have this file right now, but you see, I was logged in properly. These are the 2 projects which we saw earlier in this. Yeah, these 2 projects, 1CE2477 and 8A11B0, the same projects that you see here. And then if you have everything ready with you, if you just want to push everything, if you feel that the manual upload is a bit tiresome process, you can automate this process and you can send your knowledge objects very fast into the platform. Okay, this is done for now. I will just minimize everything here and I will show you one case study. As we saw before, the Resilience they have used this way, and they have their objects in the EU-FarmBook platform. So when you upload everything into the EU-FarmBook platform, you will get a link like this on the EU-FarmBook platform that shows all of your projects and your contributions onto the platform. So this is the page of Resilience. So they have these many contributions here onto the EU-FarmBook platform. And how this is important, or why it is important, is that let's say if your project is soon ending or it is already ended, and if you want to migrate or store your objects to somewhere else using an API, you can do that. Even if your project has already ended, it's okay. You can still use the API because the API is public, and you can push all of these objects into the EU-FarmBook platform. And so I'll click on this one first knowledge object, and you can see that this is what they have pushed onto the platform using the APIs. You see everything is there properly as if you are doing it manual upload, but manual upload takes a lot of time sometimes, and it's a tiresome process. It's a 3-step process. But if you are sure yourself that what you have or what I have is right, it doesn't have any errors, any problems, then you can just use this API and push everything. And let's say even if you make any mistakes, you can always write back to us saying that you have done this mistake and you want to correct that. Or in the future, when you get an option to delete your objects or edit your objects, it will become very easier for you as well. And you can also view the fact sheet. And similarly, all of these objects are pushed by Result Alliance using the API. Okay. And next steps is, we would like to know, how did you find this process, this procedure, and how can we improve this so that in the future as well, we can make improvements in this and make it more easier for you and more handy for you if you have, if you find this difficult. The documentation online is available already on the same link, where I showed you the API endpoints. And the detailed API guide on how to use this API with code snippets. For example, what I showed you right now in Python, they will be made available for you so that you can refer to them and make your own documentation, so that in the future, you don't have to manually upload, just use an API and everything will be uploaded automatically onto the EU-FarmBook platform. And the new endpoints will be added as for enabling, as we said before. And we are also integrating the LLM NLP endpoints to help your projects automatically generate the metadata for you, for your knowledge objects, wherein they can review and edit before you submit. So you don't have to manually do it yourself as well. So the LLM model will do a review for you and edit before you submit that. And making the analytics platform available for you that will show you how many visits your objects have got, when did you upload this, on one particular day, how much did you upload, etc. So thank you very much for this, for listening to this. And if you have any questions, please.
Thank you, Pranav. We have some questions indeed. One of the questions is actually, what if the data that I collected, the metadata that I collected, if those data are actually fair, but they're not the same metadata as you are asking, do I have to recode?
No, you don't have to recode that. If you have something which is different, then there is one provision wherein you can post that remaining metadata as well. So if you have something which is not aligning, that is still okay. There is a provision there wherein you can paste that data there, and it will be in the platform.
Okay. Will this show somewhere, these metadata?
Yes, it will be shown just below the objects.
Now, you mentioned this in one of the final slides, that there will be new API endpoints to allow editing. But does this mean, for instance, that in the future, when I want to, I've changed, for instance, something about the knowledge objects that I've uploaded, that I can also do this through an API connection?
That's right. So when you upload, you will get a unique ID, right? So using that ID, you can edit as well. So you know when you upload for which project you uploaded and what you uploaded and what ID for that. It will all be displayed there. So just using that ID, or maybe the knowledge object's name or project name, you can all the information you can get, and you can edit that information as well.
And what if I don't have some of these metadata? I think in the first session, we saw that actually all of these metadata are required, but if I don't have it?
If you don't have that metadata available for you, you can think what closely it relates to of what is available there, and you can put that as your metadata. And later on in the future, when you have the more clarity on it, you can change that using edit options.
Okay. And then actually, is there something in the works regarding how you might, like if you have a lot of these metadata sort of stored in an Excel sheet and you compare it to what the EU-FarmBook is asking, is there something in the works to help translate that, or to maybe see how it can more easily fit?
Oh, that's a very nice question. Right now, it is there, but it is only for the technical aspects. So to make it more user-friendly, we will add one more endpoint there. So when you click on that endpoint, you will see that how the if you're uploading through Excel sheet, how your objects should be there and what we expect. So to map those together, what EU-FarmBook expects and what you have in the Excel sheet, this facility we will give.
Okay. And when it comes to the amount of metadata, for the moment, you show the process of going through the API and basically trying it out, executing it. Is there another place where you can find also more information on which metadata are currently required?
I don't think so that there is one more place where this information is there. But if you let me just share my screen again. Yeah. So
We're
if you
broadcasting from Brussels, so there's always a police car in the back.
So if you see here, when you open the second API in the upload section, API upload knowledge object metadata. If you click on this, you will have this entire big area. So here, whatever is there, license, subtopics, topics, this is right now which is there. So apart from this, there is nothing more. So you can just verify this here that this is what is there and what you are expected to do.
Okay. I think that these tend to be most of the questions. I might also
just one more thing that I would like to say, that the last option here, contributor custom metadata. So whichever data it is not present in whatever we have given here, you can put that data in this element in the same key value pair format as it's shown here. So you don't have to worry about that. What if I have something which is not present on the platform? That is still okay. You can put that here. That's why the API integration comes handy.
Very good. Then I will briefly share my screen and already thank Pranav for very informative presentation.
You're welcome.
I will share because I also want to guide people's attention to the fact that we have a support page on the platform. So in this support page, you can also, for instance, see specifically about uploading contributions, who can upload contributions, for instance, the size limitations, which formats are compatible. But if there's a specific question, you can also reach out to us in this sense. Regarding metadata, one of the things that you could also try to consult is the metadata guide. There will be quite a bit of information on that there as well. And as I said, if there's any kind of question, do feel free to contact us. You can actually select one of the subjects to ask your question. With that being said, and no more additional questions in the chat, I would like to thank everybody for being present, and thank you again, Pranav, for your excellent presentation. I wish you all a very happy day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.